This is the Coyote Basic. Cheap as chips, £89. Is it any good? My first impressions of this, I must say, weren't great. I thought, oh God, this is going to be a bit rubbish. There's some stuff that you need to know if you're thinking about buying one of these. It's got some sticky old gunk all on the fingerboard here. Oh, the other thing, hang on, now there was another negative thing. There's some redeeming features, some things immediately that take it over. Oh, pull it all back, pull it all back. It's quite good. Yeah, it's quite good. Hello, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Guitaristas. So this week it's the turn of the Fazley single cut. This is the Coyote Basic. I think this is the cheapest of the Fazley single cuts. Fazley, of course, the own brand of Bax Music, who I believe are in the Netherlands. This one here, Coyote Basic, landed £89, £82 plus £7 shipping to me in the UK, and that included VAT, so I didn't have to pay any additional taxes. £89, it's pretty cheap, isn't it? And this, of course, I bought to include in the eventual comparison with the other affordable, let's call them, let's not call them cheap, the other affordable tea styles that we've reviewed over the last few months. You know, I've been milking it, haven't I? We did the Jet originally, Harley Benton TE, Antiquity from PMT, and the East Coast just recently. All well south of £200. This, of course, is the cheapest. Cheap as chips, £89. Is it any good? Well, that's what we hope to find out today. We'll go through everything and we'll find out, and then, you know, and we'll play it, of course, and see what it sounds like and everything, basically. So strap yourselves in. You know, if you've got a little bit of time, go and put the kettle on and get some nibbles and come and join us and chill out while we do it. But of course, if you're in a hurry, as many of you probably are, timestamps are in the description box. You can skip forward just to the end if you like and see what I think. But I urge you to stick with it because it could be fun. There's some stuff that you need to know if you're thinking about buying one of these, for sure. Yeah, let's get on with it. Right, so my first impressions of this, I must say, weren't great. When I unboxed it, I thought, oh God, this is going to be a bit rubbish. So I've kind of, I'll be honest with you, the thumbnail, if I did do what I think I'm going to do, because I haven't done it yet, but the thumbnail, I think I'm going to ask the question, is it even worth £89? Because it's a catchy thumbnail, you know, and a lot of you will have clicked on that, won't you? Well, I hope it worked anyway. But the point is, that sort of suggests that it might not be. And I thought it might not be, but actually, I'm not sure. I might have revised that opinion. Looking at the specs, there's some impressive specs. It does immediately feel cheap, though, and that was really that was my first impression. Looking at the body, it's hand stained, which, you know, and well, I suppose thinking about it now, well, it's all right actually. But my first impression was, ooh, that feels cheap. And the other thing, which I'll show you in a minute, these are my first impressions. It's got some sticky old gunk all on the fingerboard here, which you won't be able to see at the moment, but I'll show you some close-ups when I take the strings off, okay? And filthy frets. Yeah, filthy frets. Dirty. And some fairly sharp fret ends. Now that's the initial negative stuff out of the way. Hopefully, oh, the other thing, hang on, now there was another negative thing, which formed my first impression, and that was that it isn't a string through at all, which is what you'd expect on a Telecaster, or T-style should we say. It's just a top loading. So they were the things that kind of added up, and I thought, oh, this is going to be a bit rubbish. But, you know, thinking about it, look, 89 quid, there's some redeeming features, some things immediately that take it over. Oh, pull it all back from a kick in. First one being, and this is assuming that the specs are right, it's got an alder body. It's spec'd as an alder body. It's also spec'd as, well, it's a maple neck, this one, as you can see. And I jokingly called this fosewood. It says it's rosewood. So that shut me up, I tell you. And it's got a Graphtec nut. So, you know what? It might actually be a bit of a bargain, this. What we'll do, that's pretty much the basic specs. Obviously, the tuners here are these sealed die-cast tuners that are on all of these guitars in this price range. Oh, look, I've just pulled one of the blue stickers off. Oh, it's got a QC Pass sticker on there. You might have missed these sharp frets. We'll look at those closely in a minute. Yeah, okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to get the strings off and have a closer look at this neck and fingerboard. But before we do that, let's weigh it. Okay, it is a nice lightweight guitar. So let's see what that is. What's that? 6 pounds, 11 ounces. Just over 3 kilos. There you go. Incidentally, this comes in 3 colours that I know of. This one is red. It also comes in green or black. And they do include this cheap gig bag, which is all right. And a cheap lead. Okay, strings off. Right, so let's dig into this stickiness that I mentioned on the board here. Here's some B-roll. I think you can see that hopefully on this film. Yeah, it's got some gunk on it. I suppose maybe it's just not been cleaned off properly after the frets were fitted. I don't know what it is, but it's you know, it'll need it's just filthy, really, the frets. Let's have hang on. See if I can illustrate my point there. Not really. Take my word for it. Yeah, they're pretty. They need a good old polish. And the ends. Yeah, let's do some close-ups of the fret ends. You know, they're not dreadful, but noticeable straight away that they're sharp. Let's see if I can illustrate my point. I'm pushing it today. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, look, bits of plenty caught in the fret ends. So that needs a little bit of, just needs to clean up and a bit of work. I mean, you know, it's a cheap guitar, isn't it? So I suppose that's its weakness. But yeah, you know, that's that. So let's it's of medium jumbo frets, incidentally they call them, and C profile neck, feels pretty slim. Let's have a look at the neck profile and measurements on the screen now. Here's the neck profile and measurements at the 1st fret. It's got a nice C shape. And here's the neck profile and measurements at the 12th fret. So there you go. Yeah, nice slim neck. It will be good for beginners, which, I mean, this guitar will undoubtedly find its way into the hands of complete beginners. And being a Telecaster, you know, you can pretty much be sure you won't have tuning issues. These tuners, although, you know, cheap, they're common and they do the job. So really, it will be about whether or not, you know, there's any buzzing and stuff once we play it. So we'll find out, obviously, when we do that, and really what it sounds like. So let's delve a little bit deeper there. Obviously, it's got the traditional T-style SS, two single coil pickups. That means if you didn't know that, SS, 2 single coil pickups. We'll have a look under there in 1 second. This has got the more modern style flat bridge with fully adjustable saddles, and this is nickel plated. This is a 14-inch radius, incidentally. Should mention that. Single volume, single tone, traditional 3-way switch. Bolt on neck. Just, we've got it all covered, haven't we? Right, let's take it apart and see what it looks like under there. Let's see, does this come off? Yes. Ah, well, that's nice to see. Let's see if I can flip that. Big old humbucker out there. There's not much to see. It looks nice and neat and tidy. And here's the this ceramic bar magnet, I think, that on the bottom. So I think we can safely say that these are ceramic pickups. Nothing more to see there. In the control cavity, here we go. A .47 cap. Little mini pots, branded. It looks like QY. That's what that looks like. Let's just pull the bridge pickup up as well. There we go. We've managed to get those screws out without tampering with the intonation. So we'll be able to find out what that was like set up out of the factory. Well, it's quite heavyweight. See if I can flip it. There you go. Again, real nice, neat routing. Ceramic bar magnet, and there's the earth there. But that's quite a. I don't know why I expected that to be kind of feel a bit cheaper than it does. That feels all right. Okay. Let's take some pickup readings now. Okay, let's start on the bridge pickup. A 5.55K with an inductance of 2.47. And on the neck, we've got a reading of 4.79 kilo ohms. Inductance of 1.94 and a middle reading, just for fun, 2.59K. So there you go. What we should do now is screw it back together, put a new set of strings on, and see what it sounds like. Let's do it. See you in a minute. Here we go. I've put a new set of 10s on. This comes with 9s. I always use 10s. So I've put some on. Do you know what I've noticed straight away? How nice it sounds unplugged. this. Right, let's plug it in. Well, it's already plugged in. Let's turn it on. Let's stomp on the tuner and see what it sounds like. Through the Princeton 65 as always. Same pedals on the board. Soul Food and Rat. I might use them and I'll show you if I do. Okay, so, right, yeah, here we go. Knurled knobs, by the way. I don't know if they're plastic or metal. I'm guessing plastic because they've got no screw holes, but I might be wrong. Right, 7. It's nice and throaty. Add a bit of drive. On this occasion, the Soul Food, as on most occasions. I find these style bridges, tail bridges, awkward because they've got, I prefer the ashtray ones, because if you look at what I'm doing, I've got nothing to hold on to. I always lock on. P90s give you something to lock on to. Humbuckers, the plastic, what do they call them? The plastic surrounds a humbucker. Can't remember what they're called. They give you something to hang on to, and the ashtray bridge on a Telecaster does. With this, all I've got is this string. Well, that's my excuse. It's all right, isn't it? New strings, it seems to be fairly stable. Given the hammering that I was just giving it. Let's see if the tone and volume controls work. Volume to start with. I've heard worse. Actually, that's quite good. Tone. It's quite good. Yeah, it's quite good. Let's do probably something bluesy again, shall we? I should learn some more tunes actually. But for now, let's do this. Well, honestly, it feels great. You know, it lacks a little bit of something there. Sustain, I think, but probably down to the sort of bridge, I suppose. Maybe it's muffling it a little bit. But honestly, you know, all works. If you muck around with it, you can get some good sounds. What more do you want, honestly? So there you go, another affordable T-style that probably sounds better than it has any right to. I don't know. You know, you let me know what you think. Yeah. But I've got to say that, well, I wasn't unhappy with my playing this week. I hadn't planned any of that. I hadn't done any preparation for the playing that you just heard this week. I started filming this review, and I just thought, well, what I'll do. All right, it ends up as those 3 chords, doesn't it? But, you know, that's all you need, isn't it? You know, get a groove going, and then you can fiddle around, can't you? And you can play with your knobs and stuff and get an idea of what the guitar sounds like. I don't use a lot of heavy gain. Obviously, I use the, you know, the Soul Food, and which is kind of a clone clone. Well, it is a clone clone. And I use the Rat pedal. But I did, in fact, it's not included in the cut, but I did turn up the wick a little bit and did some punk stuff. And it'll do that as well. It does real high gain. Super well, yeah. So, it'll do it all, and it all works. So, you know, if you're at any level, you could justify getting this. If you're a complete beginner, you can get it, and it plays great out of the box. I forgot to say, I didn't even check the action. I just play it, and I always did. I don't check intonation. I don't check action straight away. It's not because I'm lazy. It's just that I do those things if I feel they need doing, and if not, I don't. So this particular guitar, and obviously they'll differ, one model from, not one model, but one model. All right, one guitar to the next will differ. Like yours might not have a sticky fingerboard. Mine did. Yours might not have sharp frets. Mine did. Yours might have really high action. Mine didn't. You get the idea. But, you know, the gist of what I'm saying is you can get one of these if you're a beginner, and you'd be on fairly safe ground, I think. And if you're a more experienced, then obviously you can put a little bit of work into any issues that need fixing, you know, bit of sandpaper on the edge of the fingerboard there will get rid of any sharp edges, bit of wax or oil on the fingerboard, and you're good to go. And if you want to muck around with the pickups, you can. And if you don't, it sounds fine as it is, really, doesn't it? So, you know, I've certainly reviewed here far more expensive guitars that I've personally loved. You know, I thought, well, this is me, this is my guitar, you know, and I don't play them as well as I just played that. So I don't know what that's all about. I think it might be a subconscious thing that when I got a guitar like this, I think, oh, you know, I've got nothing to live up to, have I, you know? If I can make it sound half decent, I've won. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I think that, well, is it even worth £89? 89. I can't even say it. Yes, of course it's worth £89. I don't know what I was thinking when I thought it was a bit rubbish. It's not at all rubbish, in my humble opinion. But let me know what you think, of course. Think it sounded all right for an £89 guitar? What do you reckon? Well, what's going to be interesting now is this is one of 5 that we're going to eventually, you know, soon compare. We're going to put them all on the bench and we'll do a bit of a comparison of all their bits and bobs, and we'll play them all side by side. So we'll be able to compare what this sounds like, and that'll give us some context, won't it? Which is, you know, it's difficult when you're just demoing a guitar. You know, I might say, well, that sounds good. It sounds good, but I've got nothing to compare it to at the moment, have I? So it sounded good enough, didn't it? So there you go. That's what we'll do. That's all for this week. Thanks for watching as usual. I hope that was something. Come back next week and there will be something else. I'm pretty sure of that. I haven't decided exactly what it is yet. So come back, same time, same place, and find out. See you then, I hope. Cheers for now. Ta-da.